What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. We hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I am Dom with the Great Man Sauce, and this is the Magnificent 7, episode number 4. Saucy, how you going? Got a
Good, mate.
very good guest on today. Interesting concept. We're ready to dive deep into it and understand it, so it's going to be great.
Should be intriguing. Brendan, welcome to the show, mate. Good to have you on.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Anytime. We will get into Merqary, but obviously we like to start off getting to know the guest. So just how you got into the hobby.
Yeah, well, I guess like a lot of guys our age, mid-90s, I'd go up to the shops with my mum and dad, and there was we had the small vending machines where you put your $2 coin in and spin it, and you got a pack out, and anywhere from 93, 94 up to probably 96, 97. I was heavily invested into it as a kid, and then I sort of had a bit of a break. Came back around 2010, and yeah, I've been heavily involved ever since. It's been great.
What do you enjoy collecting? Is it just basketball?
I collect a bit of everything. I
like that.
Like everyone in the hobby, opening a pack of cards, nothing beats opening a pack of cards. Is it the excitement? Is it the slightly gambling element of it? Yes. So I'll open anything. But I do have a player collection. I've got a massive Paul George collection. He's my favourite player. There's a bit of a story as to how he became my favourite player. But I've been collecting Paul George probably since 2012, 2013. So
beauty. Well, let's get into that story. How come he's your favorite player?
Let us know. Okay, so myself and my best mate, we're very competitive. We always have been, always will be. So he's a massive LeBron fan, and has been ever since LeBron has been in the league. So when I got back into the hobby, I sort of started collecting a few players here and there, Kyrie, Brandon Knight, Maurice Harkless from the Magic when he was there. And I never really settled on a player. So my best mate he was into me. LeBron was in Miami. Paul George was in Indiana. So then there was this, this rivalry between Paul George and LeBron, and one of the most memorable moments for me was Paul George's dunk on Birdman. And ever since then, because of this rivalry between myself and my best mate, I've just followed Paul George through Indiana, through OKC, now over to the Clippers. And I was actually talking to my wife about it last night. Now that the borders are open again over to the US, we're going to get over there. I haven't seen him play yet. I've seen LeBron, I've seen Steph, I've seen KD. PG is the next one. Going to make a trip of it. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
I like that. I'm a Miami fan, so I do remember those series very, very vividly. I still just remember how it's unfortunate, like Roy Hibbert isn't in the league anymore, but just how well Roy Hibbert played against those Miami teams, and he used to just boss us. And Paul George was phenomenal. Obviously, he couldn't back that up as much after he got that injury, but he's obviously started to come good again, and he's been playing great basketball.
He's carrying the Clippers at the moment.
He's doing a great job.
I haven't seen the game today, so after this, I'm going to watch the game. I haven't seen the score, so the injury was big for me actually for PG. I had a whole heap of my collection on check out my cards, and the day before he got injured, I've made the decision, no, I'm not going to collect Paul George anymore, and I've actually put them all up for sale. None of them sold, and then he broke his leg. So quickly, because prices plummeted, so quickly I took them all down for a sale and actually started buying again, and haven't stopped. So
nice, very nice. All right,
he's too deep now. He can't turn back.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. And I'll show you some of the cards a bit later on. There's some that I found I didn't even know I had. It's crazy.
I like it. What is Merqary?
So it's a Merqary. Merqary, yep. So Merqary, the name came, it's an ancient Greek god, I think it is. So I've got a business partner who came up with the name. And so ancient Greek god, or who was the god of trade, and that's how we came about. So Merqary, it started out being, I've always had this vision in my head. It's probably been around for 5 or 6 years. So I've always wanted a one-stop shop for trading cards. So that is a place where you can upload your collection and keep track of it digitally. So I used to do that using a Wix.com website, and it would take forever to maintain and update. If a new release came out with Paul George cards, I would have to go in and manually update that. So we've made Merqary so that this is a place where if you're a player collector, you can go and you can create a list of cards called a have list. So these are cards that you have, and you can pop them in there. I've got a Paul George have list. I've got a Michael Jordan have list. You can pop the cards in there. You can keep track of them, and you can basically keep track of your collection in your pocket on your phone. The reason why that was important to me was because I'd find myself buying doubles of the same card. I'd end up with 2 select golds when they were a lot cheaper, obviously, but 2 select gold Paul Georges. I only ever wanted to have one. I just wanted to have one of every single card. So it was really important for me to have a way that I could quickly and easily check how to do that, or if I had it or not. So that's sort of where the idea of Merqary came from. We started with that, and then obviously that fed into other features, which I'm sure we'll get onto at some point. But yeah, that's sort of what Merqary is in this current state.
And the inspiration, did it come from like frustration in previous aspects, whether using a different platform? Like for example, like eBay, you're having frustrations using that, or even putting cards on ComC, for example, and you're just like, it has to be easier and has to be streamlined. So was that another inspirational push towards this is why Merqary?
100%, yeah. I found that I was using 4 websites, excluding Facebook and social media. One was Wix.com, and I'd be on that sort of once a week, twice a week, updating cards that I've got, or adding new product, new releases into that. The second website was eBay. I'm sure everyone in the hobby is on eBay. The third website was Check Out My Cards, and that was obviously one that I used to fill out my collection for the lower end stuff. And the fourth was Ozcard Trader. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ozcard Trader. So that was, I'd be on that daily. And that was a great website. So basically the idea or the inspiration was to have that one place where you could come and maybe not so much from a forum point of view with Ozcard Trader, but with Merqary, with eBay, with Check Out My Cards, and with my Wix site. If everyone had their own list of cards that they were chasing, which was linked to a marketplace, and you could get a notification instantly. Let's say that you had a Paul George card that I had on my want list that I've been chasing for a while. It goes up for sale, and I'll get a notification on my phone straight away. This is up for sale. Would you like to make an offer, put a bid in, or purchase? So streamlining that process. Everyone's time poor, and that to be able to save people time, it's such a valuable asset.
100%. What are some of the features of the platform?
Okay, so currently, if you were to go on the platform at the moment, we're still in a bit of a beta phase. So a bit of a background on where we came from and where we are today. We originally set out with a web development team who just couldn't, like they produced the website, which is great, but they couldn't get the performance there. So in the background of the website, we've got not all, but we're updating all of the checklist database for every trading card, basically, into the website. And the original website couldn't perform fast enough. So what we did, we brought in a technical director into Merqary, and he has a lot of experience in web development, but he also had a contact for a really experienced web development team who've built some pretty substantial websites who have also come on board. So we've had a rather large investment, and what that's allowed us to do is rebuild Merqary from the ground up. Currently today, as it stands, we've got a beta launch out there, which allows you, so you could jump on today for free, and you can upload your collection in there. We've probably got around 80 to 85% of the basketball checklist database up into Merqary at the moment. It's just a bit of a time-taking process. So you can upload your collection. You can track which cards you've got. You can add a want list. By that, it means that if there's cards that you want that you don't yet have, you can do that. There's another thing which is a bit unique to Merqary. I don't know if I've seen it anywhere else. And maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but we individually score each one of each trading card. So as an example, a base card will get you 1 point, an insert will get you 2 points, and then it sort of gets a bit complicated once we get to patch cards, jersey cards, autographs, and numbered cards, because there's a bit of a mixture. And I think the highest point score you can get is around about the 140 points per card. And what we like about that is, for me being a Paul George collector, I can score myself against someone who's a Michael Jordan collector, or it doesn't matter how much money you've got, or one of my side PCs is Terence Ross. So someone who doesn't have as much money as, say, I do, who can collect Paul George and they collect Terence Ross, we can it's a bit of friendly rivalry in a way. It's not intended to sort of
how much of a super collector you are, the more points you got, you're more of a super collector on that guy. I understand the premise of it. It sounds interesting, a bit of banter between people. Could create a bit of rivalry. I like it. Yeah.
It's also like, if you let's say that I'm 10 points behind you, you can go into the website, you just want to get one up on your mate, and you go and buy a card that's got 15 points. You just sort of jump up that leaderboard. And you can also find out who's the number one Paul George collector, who's the number one Michael Jordan collector. It's sort of a nice thing. You work so hard at your PC, as everyone does, to get a bit of recognition would be nice.
And the leaderboard, for example, with the scores, does that give an added bonus to people that are on the platform?
In what way do you mean?
Is there giveaways or prizes for people that have the highest score, for example, like the month, or you do like a weekly thing as well?
Yeah, I think we will. Obviously, at this point, we're just still building the thing as quickly as we possibly can. But it's definitely one of those things that we've. If you have a look on our membership page, I think we've still got it there. Merqary Magic giveaways, and we're not building this thing to make millions and millions of dollars. We're building this thing because it's something that I really needed.
That's brilliant.
And if you scroll right down to the bottom of the page there, mate, it might bring up the membership tiers. So we want to give back, and I meant to grab it actually. We're doing a giveaway for paid. If you're a paid member on the site, you can't be a paid member just yet, but when we launch that, if you're a paid member on the site, you
So at the moment, you're just allowing people to get in there, use the site, because that allows you to get a bit of data and performance. More track the performance with how many people are on the site at any one time.
Correct. That's right. And look, it's also good for feedback too. I mean, the last thing I want is to start charging people and then them say, "Nah, you're not performing, or this isn't working." Let's get some people in the website and let's find all those things now. I work a day job. It's something on the side for me. It's not something that I'm sitting here, as I said, to make millions and millions of dollars out of.
Yeah.
Look, there are membership fees, and we're very open and transparent with those. To store this data on, your card data, it costs money through Amazon, and you can go and Google that. So that's all these do. So
yeah, definitely, I completely understand.
So I've looked just from a bit of a background in creating websites and things. It sounds like you've had a few technical issues with one set of developers, which can happen at times, that maybe they promise but they can't deliver. So you got to move on to the next one. That's all under control, and you seems like you've probably now on I don't know, maybe Amazon AWS servers or something like that to get the performance of the website running faster, or some sort of cloud server that allows much more faster running of the site. Also, you mentioned before 85% of basketball checklists. What else do you currently have update on there? Do you have Pokemon? Do you have any of that other genre in TCG outside of sports? What's the plan in the future, maybe for future editions of the website?
Look, basically at this point in time, 85% basketball. There's probably 30 or 40% of NFL cards on there. There's a couple of years worth of NRL trading cards up there. My goal is to, once I get through the basketball checklist, is probably to jump back into NRL, AFL. We're Australian. It's a bit easier to market to the Australian community at this point in time. And then once we get past that, we'll go to NFL, Major League Baseball, soccer. There's a few soccer cards in there at the moment. Basically anything trading card, even wrestling, UFC, Star Wars. If there's a trading card, we'll put it up there.
Now tell us about the pains of getting all these checklists and getting them all formatted in the right way. Some of them are easy to get. Some of them, there have been out there that in a nice Excel spreadsheet. But I tell you what, there's some out there that they don't make it easy for you. Maybe Select Australia. I know they don't make it really easy for you with their PDFs. It's not nice to get that data. I don't know if there's another way, but collating some of this data, because we've done a bit of it before. We have done a bit of it before in getting checklists and a bit of research for shows, and sometimes it's not all been nicely packed for you. So it does become then a manual process. Some of it can be automated with, you can rip some things off a site with a plugin or something like that. But sometimes it's not as easy because the data just doesn't come out perfectly when you try to automate the process. So you end up having to manually enter some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's been a very lengthy process. So at the start of the very first COVID lockdown back in March 2020, that's pretty much when we first kicked this thing off. And the low-hanging fruit, I suppose you'd call it, with regards to Panini checklists, they're all in Excel spreadsheet format. That was easy. That was really simple compared to, you've got to trawl through numerous websites to get that last 10 to 15% of data. And I won't I won't download anything off Beckett because they've had lawsuits in the past. So we don't want to use their IP, if you would like to call it that, being the checklist database. So we trawl through eBay, we trawl through Check Out My Cards and a few other websites just to try to lock down what these cards are, and it's a very much a lengthy manual process. There's probably a quicker way out there, and I'm sure that the web developers, if I had one or two of them to sort of sit down for a week or two to figure that out, maybe we could speed up that process. But we're pretty much there with basketball, so I'm pretty happy. It's just a lengthy process.
But it's good when you're up and running and you've got something on there anyway. Once there's something that's up and running in the background, you can just add things anyway, which is always good. So helps to whatever growing product in the end of the day. Before we had the pricing up, we'll link this in the description anyway. So we'll get people to go in. They can have a look. There's 6 tiers. There's obviously the free, $3 monthly, 10 monthly, 20 monthly, 30 monthly, and then 130 monthly. Each stage in the membership fees membership pricing, has different features. So we'll definitely put that in the description. Please check it out to people that listen to this or watch this on YouTube. We will move on to what is the stash and the trophy room. I will bring up your trophy room.
Perfect.
We'll probably go through this. It'll be a lot easier with. I'm sure these are all your cards, so
they are all my cards.
Jeepers.
Okay,
some nice cards in here.
Yeah. So look, if you look, scroll up a bit. There's a filter bar, sort by. So if you just sort by card score, you click that drop down box. High score.
Yep.
I like doing this because it brings up my
oh yeah,
my better cards. They're all the one of ones. Obviously, that one top left, it's still sitting at check out my cards, but I use check out my cards to send all of my US purchases there because they give me a nice scan that I can add into my trophy room. So I know that I've got it while it's still sitting over there. So my trophy room. So we sat. So Paul is my business partner. Paul and I sat at my place about 18 months ago, and we're just sort of mapping this thing out, how we want to do it. Now, Paul is he's not in the trading card business, but he's a businessman, and without him, we could never have got to where we are. But we're sort of brainstorming, what do we call this thing? You know, we had Merqary. What do we call this page? And it was actually my wife that came up and said, should call it your trophy room. You know, each card is probably considered a trophy, and you know, this is where you store them. So a trophy room is exactly that. It's a place where you can upload your collection. This is your pride and joy. You know, this is your collection. So here you store your cards. You can sort. You can search your cards to see what you've got. And this is where I come to if I'm out and about and I want to know if someone's offered me a card, I want to know if I've got it or not. So I haven't uploaded all my Paul George cards yet, but there's quite a few there. So you can see on the left there too, you've got filters. Now we are working on that long list there. We're going to bring that down because it's not very user-friendly at the moment, but they're one of the things we're working on. You can whittle your cards down. So if you were to click on something there, complete players or something on the left there, it will actually, sort right down. There you go. There's that card. Now, above that, there are a whole bunch of lists. So I sort my cards by, Paul George, then Terence Ross as a side PC, Jason Tatum, Michael Jordan, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a quick and easy way to show all the cards that you've got in one quick and easy place. This is also handy. Let's say that you jump onto Facebook and someone says, looking for Jason Tatum cards. You can come into your trophy room and essentially copy and paste the link to your trophy room, and they can come through and they can have a look at what cards you've got and whether they're interested in buying.
So someone could view that without having a Merqary account?
Correct, yep.
All right, that's good. I like it.
So you'll only need to have an account once we've got the marketplace live and you want to buy something.
Not bad. I like that. That's good. That's the way to entice people onto the platform because they'll see the way that it's laid out in someone's trophy room, and hopefully they go on and they create an account and set up their own. And that's how you build your community. I love it. It's an awesome feature.
Your little bar on the left there. What's your plan? What's your plan to sort of clean that up? Maybe put it in years. I don't know. Break it down like through that way. I'm not sure because it's a very long list there. So I don't know.
It is. Yeah. Look, the idea is there. Ideally it will be you can sort by year, then manufacturer, then product, or set release. So it'd be like 2012, 13, Panini. Prism, gold, and you can whittle it right down. I suppose the benefit of having having the filters over there on the left is if you are on the marketplace and let's say there's 2 million cards on the marketplace, you want to sort by Paul George cards, Panini release, Prism Gold, or something like that. For something like this, where I think I've only got a few Michael Jordan cards in there, you'd probably just quickly scroll through. Yeah.
I'm just enjoying your collection, by the way. I'm just going through all his side pieces. His main, I quite like it. He's got a Penny Hardaway here as well.
I know. So I'm a big Orlando Magic fan, and have been since I was a little kid.
Oh, I like this.
So
my boy plays for the Magic.
Yeah,
I was very high on Cole Anthony.
Oh yeah. I've actually got quite a few. If you go into the NBA for sale for trade and you search by down a few, just under the Greg Inglis PC.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where I think I've got a few thousand cards in there. If you search by Cole Anthony in that search bar just above, I think there's a couple of nice, just base rookie cards. But Anthony Hardaway, I collected a whole heap of mid-90s cards of his.
Here he is.
He had a good game today, I think, Cole.
Yeah, he killed it. Yep. Had 31
points. I think 6 of 9 from 3. Dom is high on him, and I've been watching him. He's on the radar, isn't he, Dom?
Yeah, he's on the radar. He's a good player. It's probably because I said he was a good player. That's why I got to stick fat with him.
now you can ride him as far as people are riding Nick Claxton and really, really driving that one home.
Nick Claxton's no good. He's a nice guy, but he's no good. All right, let's move on here. When listing the cards on the platform, is everything, because obviously you put the checklist in, everything's pre-populated?
It is. We will have a feature which will launch at some point where you can upload your own card. So if your card is not part of the database, then you can upload it still. What will happen is a notification will get sent through to admin saying, Brendan's uploaded a card, and we'll run our eyes over it and make sure that it's not. The reason why we run our eyes over it is we don't want fake or custom cards finding their way onto the site. I'm not a fan, and maybe that's a personal preference. Maybe at some point in the future we may be open to it, but I just don't think that they've got a place for someone in the hobby, or maybe it will go into their own filter where they are noted as custom or fake cards. Call them custom cards. I just don't like when people try to rip off others in the hobby. So that's something that, we'll work on. Sorry, where was the original? Okay, I've got sidetracked.
The pre-population of the listing.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, you'll have very much like what you do on eBay. You'll insert what the card is, the player, the card number, print run, all the rest of it. And what will happen is as soon as we at admin approve that or verify that card, and we may get people in the hobby to do that for us because there might be a lot there, and we'll reward you in some way, maybe free membership, don't know yet. But if let's say it's a Paul George card that's not been uploaded by someone at admin, as soon as it gets verified, it will go and, essentially I'll get notified that there's a new Paul George card. Would I like it to add it to my want list, or, it may automatically go there. So, that's how we're doing the checklist at this point.
Nice. And I noticed that you had a Jordan BGS 8.5 in your collection. So will you be able to select, obviously, grading companies, grades of cards, and all that as well? Fantastic. That's awesome.
Basically, the filters on the left there'll be an option for graded cards, and you can pick which company you want. Or if you want a BGS 9.5, exactly 9.5, or if you want a BGS 9.5 higher, all that will come, definitely.
Now,
I like it.
Are you limiting the grading companies allowed on the platform, or because I'm not sure if you're aware on the whole grading aspect. There used to probably be about 3 or 4. Now there's a solid 35, maybe 75. I don't bloody know. Every time I go on Instagram, I get a new ad for another grading company.
Yeah.
I think Platinum Grading is the latest one that I've seen coming out of Australia. And then there's a heap of other ones. I'm not sure how far down that rabbit hole you're going on the platform.
We haven't gone too far down the rabbit hole. So basically what happened was, with the original web developers, I was asked to put together a list. And I think you're right. I think I had maybe 3 or 4. I think I might have only had 3: BGS, PSA, and SGC. And then we had another tab for other. But what we will do is we will upload more when we get a chance. But at this point in time, if you had another card from Platinum Grading, you could upload it as other. And then once we've uploaded it, we'll probably release that information through our socials, that we've added Platinum Grading to the website, and you can do it. You can edit your cards.
Ripper. I like it.
Way to catalog your cards. I like it.
Yeah. It is. It's good. You can go on, see people's collections. I love this source. I'm getting excited. Where do you envision the platform in the next 5 to 10 years? I know it's projecting, but
it is. Look, I'm just big on in 5 to 10 years' time, if I can see people who are actively using the website, and we're covering our costs of the website, I'm happy. As I've always said, I'm not here to make millions of dollars out of this thing. Obviously, I wouldn't have investors if there wasn't the possibility that that could happen, because they're taking that risk. But if I can see in 5 to 10 years' time, we get 15 to 20,000 people actively using the website, trading, and that's sort of where it's coming from. We want to see people interacting, trading, as well as buying, selling, adding to their collection, using the site in very much the way that I would use it, being a player collector or a set collector, trying to fill holes in my hobby, in my collection. That would bring me a lot of joy, I suppose. And look, hey, if we could get it to the point where we see people at a trade show, they pull out their phone and they looking through other people's collections, looking for cards to buy, and they're scrolling through their trophy room on their phone. Yep, I need that card. That would be amazing.
That's the ultimate, honestly. That'd be the ultimate win for yourself, and you've served the purpose of what you really wanted in the end of the day. If it gets to that, that'd be fantastic for you. Do you feel that Merqary's fixing a problem in the hobby as a platform, or it's filling a void, or both?
I think it's doing both in a way. Maybe not in its current format. Look, there's other products out there that's similar to what we're offering today. So we're pretty close to having a marketplace which is ready for me to test. There's going to be a lot of testing involved there, because we're not handling people's money, but there's money being transferred.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of testing there. But once we've launched that, and once your subscribers see the membership page, when we charge someone $9.99 Australian a month, I think you get 10 free or commission-free sales per month. So if you go onto eBay, they're charging you 14% per sale. You could sell your card that's worth $200 and not pay a cent on our site more than your membership fee. And you're probably already, you've more than paid for the $10 you paid us in a month. So I think we're filling that or solving that problem whereby people are paying a lot of money to eBay for their platform. I know that they've got a bigger audience, but...
Yeah, 100%. Interesting you mentioned that. If you don't get the 10 free listings on a membership, so on a free account, are you able to put a percentage number per transaction out there, or you haven't come up with that just yet?
No, the way that we do it, you get charged per card. So for the free subscription site membership tier, you pay 75 cents per sale. So if you sell a card that's worth $1, well, you've got to pay us 75 cents and you get 25 cents. But if you sell a card that's worth $1,000, you know, it's same. Still paying 75 cents. And that's the same for if you on the $10 a month or $9.99 a month subscription, and you sell 11 cards, you don't pay any commission on the first 10. It's just that 11th card. I think it's not the 75 cents. It drops right down. It's like 45 or 35 cents, and all the way up to you pay an extra 25 cents per card if you go over your limit for the month. I like that model. Originally, we did have the commission, same as eBay, and we were down at sort of the 3 to 5%. I was like, no, it doesn't work for me. I prefer to pay a $10, $15, $20 a month, can have 5,000 cards in my trophy room, 5,000 cards on the marketplace for sale at any one time, and I'm being linked to buyers who are saying that they want that card. So
Yeah.
It's sort of...
Well, 75 cents is very, very, very competitive compared to 14%, especially if you're selling a $2,000 card. So
now, what about something like, all right, you've listed all your cards. You know, I've got all these base rookies, right? And I list up all these base rookies for $1, right? And this person comes into my my sort of my marketplace or my trophy room or whatever we're calling it, and whatever it's exactly called, the name, and they pick out 5 or 6 rookies that they need, and it's $5. What happens there? Is it 75 cents on each of those cards, so you still get only 25 cents per, for each of those? When if he's going to ship that to me, he could probably ship that in one shipment, so he's still going to pay the 75 cents per card on all dollar cards, or how does it work?
At this point, yes. I mean, if you're on a $19.99 a month plan, you'll get a lot more cards. It's 50 or 100 cards that you get per sale per month to sell or trade. I mean, look, we're open to the idea of let's let this thing get out there, and we'll take feedback on if 75 cents per card is too much, or we're finding that people are just not getting the benefit out of the site for that. Obviously, with the free membership, and someone uploads a whole heap of cards, we're storing all their data for free. We're not a Facebook where we sell people's personal information, so we don't get any cash back for that. So we've got to recoup those costs somewhere, and that was the purpose of the 75 cents. But yeah, look, it's going to be one of those trial and error things for us, unfortunately. We don't know how the site's going to work or how our members are going to use the site. From my point of view, I could sort of say, look, this is how I'll use it. I'd sell between 20 and 50 cards, or sell or trade between 20 and 50 cards a month. I'd be on the $19.99 a month plan. Therefore, 50 cards covers me. I might have months where I go over. I might have months where I'm completely under. So, yeah, it's sort of trial and error, and we'll take some feedback on once we start playing with the marketplace.
Well, I like it. It's very well thought out. But like you said, it is trial and error in the end of the day. So what developments are currently happening or on the way? I know you mentioned the marketplace. Anything else?
We've got the marketplace, which is it's taking a lot of time for our web development team. They can't jump onto any bugs at the moment because they're building that. So that's on the radar. I've got a list of about 30 features that we've uploaded, and I've given to our web development team to sort of forecast into their schedule. One of the key things key features that our technical director is keen on implementing is image recognition. And basically how that will work is once we've got the app, so we are building an app at some point. You'll get your phone out, you'll get your card out, and you'll go, yep. And it will pick up all the data and give you a short list of what those cards are, until it sort of teaches itself how to narrow that card right down to the individual card. So that's one of the features that we're working on in the background. A pretty cool one.
Nice. I like it.
There's another big feature to do around breakers.
Yep.
And making their life a little bit easier too. And obviously the image recognition will work with that. So yeah, we're working on that too. But we want, as I said from the start, we want it to be a one-stop shop for everyone. We want to make it quicker, cheaper, easier for the collector right up to the breaker or the guy who owns the shop. So there's plenty coming.
I like it. No, it's good. It's well thought out. Like I said, it's very interesting, and obviously we're going to follow your journey all the way through. So
that's it. Sounds like he's here for the long haul. I mean, you don't go down all this effort, and you got the beta website, you got an app coming, and you're taking the right steps to grow your platform, which is good. We know you've been around. We probably would have met you by this point if we weren't in lockdown and stuff, because I've seen you were at a few shows around and about. So I have seen you across the socials, getting out there and getting yourself known, which is good, which is what you need. So yeah, look, the signs are looking good, and the platform. In premise to me, it sounds like a good idea, and it would be good if you could get the marketplace up and running, and people could. I like the fact that you could just list your cards there. You could show people, this is what I got for sale. You can send people, as you said, on Facebook, a link, or they're looking for cards, and you say, this is what I got for sale, and it's literally, just like that. It's quick and easy. So yeah, like there's a few good things in there that I'm excited to definitely try out. I'm gonna have to sit here one day. I mean, I could be sitting here for about 8 hours just listing cards. It could go on forever and ever and ever.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I've been uploading my Paul George collection for a few weeks now. I sit there for a few hours at a time and do it. But once they're up there, let's say that you've got 5,000 cards that you would like to sell. You're not going to put 5,000 cards on eBay because it costs you every time you put a card, after the 40th card or whatever they do, after the 200th. Yeah. You can upload your 5,000 and just have it rolling month on month on month, and just sit there. And you never know, a player like Giannis might come along and you've got a rookie card that you've had there since his rookie season, and it blows up and you're getting all these mad offers for it. So, yeah.
So there's an offer button, I take?
There is an offer button. We're looking at introducing a RAS sale format too, and making that. I mean, that's all run through Facebook pages at the moment, but we would like to streamline that process a little bit too, so that someone just buys in and it gets run automatically. So, yeah, that'll be nice.
Business source business 101. All right. Anyone listening, business 101. Take the features of everyone else, put them in a place where you can streamline it, like Merqary.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to go to Facebook for Razzes. You just go to Merqary for Razzes. And then while you're at Merqary and you're in Razzes, you go look around. Oh, what other features they got here? Just gonna head over to Brendan and Saucy's trophy room. Oh, look what they've got. And then you spend more time on the website and you go deeper into the rabbit hole on Merqary, and what do you know? It becomes your new favorite platform, and you're sharing it with your mates, and then they're jumping on the platform, and sooner or later, mate, is a worldwide phenomenon.
You got to give it a whirl, because it sounds like it's
fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds good, and that the features that you've got coming, and that you're, as we said, you're here to build on what you currently do have, which is, we've seen a few other platforms come up in the hobby. One that we love using, we use it every show, Cardladder. They started out with a very beta version, and people gave them a lot of shit for it, and they took a lot of shit early days, and especially charging $15 a month to get a subscription and things like that. And they took a bit of flack, but they stuck through, and now people really enjoy their platform. I mean, I pretty much use it daily, and so do a lot of other people. So you just got to keep building and keep pushing through the adversity, which you've already done. It sounds like it with obviously your first developers, and you've pushed through some stuff already. So which is good. Which is good to see that you're sticking true to bringing something. What you envision is going to be a one-stop shop platform that could do a lot of things. I mean, you've dropped a lot of little hints in there of other features and things that are coming along, which, you know, is very interesting. The Raz thing, you know, funny enough, there's been some funky stuff been going on Raz's on Facebook groups this week. It'd be, you know, imagine that's how you ran your Raz and you really couldn't get around it. It verifies all the payments and, you know, it runs it and uploads. However, I don't know how you do it, but, you know, it was all automated through there and that's it. Like you wouldn't have to get dodgy people doing dodgy things, which is what sometimes can happen, unfortunately. As good as the hobby is, a lot of the time, there are some sharks out there that do try to pull one over you. So that would definitely fix an issue on that front, which is something that's I've, you know, been known, or it's come to me this week of light. People doing dodgies like that. So I like it.
Yeah,
good stuff, mate.
And I think with Cardladder, I mean, I haven't used the site. I know about it, but I just haven't had time to jump on.
Yeah.
And I think what's important to know is if someone's, I don't know if this is 100% the case with Cardladder, but I'd assume it would be. And if they're charging you $15.99 a month, it's because obviously they've got overheads and costs and all the rest of it. But the alternative is, and we did think about this, and there is a good documentary on Netflix, I think it is, about Facebook and how they make money. You know, we could very easily go and sell all of our members' personal information to advertisers, and we'd probably make 10 to 20, 100 times more money than what we would and just offer the site out for free. But if there's a site out there that's charging you money, it's always good to know that they're probably doing that so that they don't have to sell your personal information, which is key. So,
well, they're definitely not. That's one thing, and I think that's one thing as well. Like Josh, who codes there, and Chris, and Christina, the team at Cardladder, they're so against like that data being sold off, and which is fantastic. Like, and one of those things, like exactly like your platform, there's a free, and then to pay, you get access to extra features. It's just, which is fine. It's like if you don't want to pay for the membership, that's fine. You can still use the platform though. It's like we're not going to get rid of you.
Correct.
Cardladder's got the whole. You get 6 months worth of data. on
three months.
Oh, 3 months.
Back. Yeah.
3 months worth of data on the card. If you want all time data, you got to sign up. It's just, but you still get access to their platform. So even that's fantastic in itself. So the last thing I want to ask you, because just. It's like a technical question, but regarding shipping. So if to and from here, potentially to the States, is it as elaborate as eBay where it gives you options for shipping, or do you manually pick pricing and your thoughts?
No, we're sort of working through that at the moment. There's a few aspects to that. Obviously, if you ship a card domestically, you can pop it in a bubble mailer with put a couple of dollars stamp on it, and it doesn't get tracked. The alternative is you pay a bit more for tracking, and you can track the card being shipped across the country. Then you could probably do the same with international. I've sent some low end cards using a $3 stamp or $4 stamp, and they make it there fine. But yeah, we're sort of working through how we do that at the moment. And one of the key things we're looking at is how and when we release the funds so if once the seller has sold the card and the buyer's paid, how is it fair to release the funds? Do we hold? Well, we don't physically hold, but we use a system called Stripe. Does Stripe hold the funds until the purchaser acknowledges that they've received the card, or the tracking has shown it has been delivered? Do you need X amount of positive feedback or positive sales before you get your funds released immediately? We do have in our terms and conditions, we've all had cards go missing in the mail. So, if I purchase a card off someone domestically and I choose an untracked package, that risk sits with me. However, vice versa, if I choose a tracked package, the risk sits with the seller until it receives with the buyer. So there's lots of things there that we're trying to simplify. And yeah, to be honest, I don't know the answer to that at this point. And it will probably become clear to me once I've got the marketplace.
It's a lot to think about, and
Shipping's
I don't
always a
know.
pain
I don't
in the
know.
ass.
Shipping one, and maybe I don't know how far you're going into resolution of disputes, or if any of that goes down that road. Thinking about all that and the legalities and what you chuck in your T's and C's. Don't worry. It's a lot to think about. Obviously that's still to work out, but that's all in the process, in the building process. But for now, you can get on there, you can upload your collection, you can set your trophy room, you can figure out pretty much create a link for people for stuff and send it to people on Facebook and let them know you've got this stuff for sale.
Correct.
So instead of having to run a Facebook sale, you can just bang. Here we go.
And that'll be one of the things that we work on too. Is obviously Facebook sales are fairly successful. Maybe there's a way that you can select a bunch of 10, 15, 100 cards and link your Facebook page, and then it puts them in for sale, and you've already got your pricing in. There's so many possibilities that we're thinking of in the background, just to save people time. There's nothing worse than going and taking a photo of every single card and then putting it up for sale on Facebook. Only to do it a week or two later with some of the same cards. So there's lots of little ideas that sort of pop up in my head, and I just jot them down on this website, and then the web developers run off and put some time against it. So
I like it. It's forever growing with ideas, and we look forward to seeing the finished product. Just a few things before we do finish up. We always like to ask our guests if you have an underrated card set, or product in the hobby.
Underrated. I'm going to call an underrated card product being the old gold standard.
Good shout.
2010, I think it was, through to 2015, maybe. This is, that is.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
But that is. I loved Gold Standard. I went it back when it was $100 or $120 a box. I'd opened a fair few of them.
I think I've got here we go. Horace Grant, Piece of the Gold Rush there.
I used to have a massive Horace Grant collection.
Yeah.
Sold them all off.
It was so good.
He's had to trim the fat. He's had to trim the fat because he's you can't collect them all. Don't. It gets like that. It gets like that.
No, I love it.
The underrated, and it's probably for the newcomers to the hobby. They might see the odd card here and there, but that was a really cool release.
It was a great set. It definitely was. Favorite card in your collection?
Oh, look, I've got a few here. I brought a few out. So that's probably my favorite one at this point.
Yeah, Jumbo.
Yeah.
Immaculate. Yeah. So that's nameplate, I think it is. Nameplate Nobility from Immaculate. So I got that one. This is so Paul George doesn't sign a lot of cards. So that's a nice one. And then probably my favorite recent card that I picked up would have to be the old Prism Black.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, Prism Select Blacks.
Here we go. Going after the short printed Paul George.
Yeah, I love the shot stuff.
So what's the go with his auto? He doesn't sign many things.
I think this might have been the last set he signed, the old Eminence.
Okay.
And he just doesn't. I get it. These guys would be signing thousands and thousands of autographs on trading cards, and then more autographs in person. So I completely understand why he doesn't. It would be nice to see a couple more, though. It really would. Maybe it's just adding to the old supply and demand rule. Less supply means the demand's going to go up, and my collection's going to increase in value.
Hopefully.
Definitely good. Hopefully it does. All right, let's give a final shout. Where can we find you? We're going to put everything in the description anyway, but where can we find you?
So we've got the Merqary Facebook page, which is just at Merqary, the Instagram page, which is again at Merqary. We do have a YouTube channel, which we haven't really released anything, but we'll upload a lot of how-to videos on that once we've got the site up and running. I'm more than happy to answer emails, which is just brendan.sharp@merqary.com. And I'll share that information with you guys. You can put it in the description. Or I'm all over Facebook, all over the Australian Facebook card pages, predominantly NBA, but I'm also into the NRL and the Pokemon pages. So reach out, and I'll definitely get back. We love hearing about ideas that anyone has. So if you've got any ideas for the website, please shoot them across. We really want to make sure that this website is for the collector, for the average person who is just going to use it day in, day out. So let's work on it together and make it amazing.
Beauty. Thank you so much for your time, Brendan. We really do appreciate it. We wish you all the very best. It's going to be fantastic when it's all said and done. We're looking forward to it based on what you've said to us throughout this interview. So thank you once again.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time.
No worries. On behalf of myself, the great man Sauce, and Brendan from Merqary, keep living, loving, and breathing sports, double coverage, and peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.